Okay, so itong next lesson natin, we'll be talking about yung piecewise defined the linear signals. So linear signals meaning of course, nagso-show lang sila ng something na straight. So basically a line. And there are three, no? So we have impulse, yung step, and then yung ramp. Pero bago ako mag-proceed sa step and ramp, pag-usapan muna natin yung impulse. Kasi may distinction yung impulse pagdating sa continuous time and then sa discrete time. So sa continuous time, ang isang impulse, if we all recall, ang itsura niya is that pataas lang yung kanyang value. Okay? You can see here that this one, yung magnitude nito papunta sa infinity. Okay? And here, nagsa-start lang siya sa 0. So if this is a delta 0, then delta of t minus 1, ang value ng t minus 1 that will give it 0 is at t is equal to 1. So that means this is an impulse function na imbis na sa 0 siya nag-o-occur, dun siya sa 1 nag-o-occur. So iba yung delta t minus 1 sa delta 1. So delta of t minus 1 is not equal to delta of 1. Because delta of t minus 1, yung impulse is at 0. This one, ang value nito is equal to 0. Okay? So that's an important distinction. Okay. So ito yung sa continuous. Pero pagdating dun sa discrete time, ang delta of 0 is nandun pa rin siya sa 0. Anong pinagkaiba? Hindi na po siya continuous. Ang magnitude nito is 1 na. Okay? Ito pala yung ibig sabihin ng magnitude. Okay. So ang magnitude nito is 1 na. So if I were to keep adding mga ganito, so you can see we have madaming deltas. So I have a delta of 0 plus a delta of t minus 1. Actually, delta of t pala to. Ayan. Plus a delta of t minus 2 plus etc. Then I get a delta of t minus n. So in short, kapag sinam ko siya from k is equal to 0 up to k is equal to n, okay, yung delta na yan, then this is what we now know as the ramp function. Ramp function. The step function. Okay? So ito na yung discrete na step. Kasi if we connect all of these points na to, ito itsura niya. So itong ganitong itsura, yan na yung continuous na step signal. Okay? So ito yung kanyang discrete equivalent and then ito yung kanyang continuous time equivalent. So to recap, pagdating sa continuous, yung magnitude ng ating impulse function is infinite. And so therefore, hindi mo ma-express yung ramp in terms of it. However, pagdating sa discrete time, ang magnitude ng isang impulse is well defined, as in it's equal to 1. And so you can express a series of discrete steps, or rather discrete na impulses as isang discrete step signal. And that means na kapag minultiply ko to ng A, for example, lahat yan, so lahat ng magnitude nila magmumultiply ng A. Hindi siya tulad dito. Ang nagmumultiply lang ng A dito yung kanyang area. So if this was A delta of 0, this has an area of A. Dito, pag A delta of 0, lahat yan equal na kay A. So this could be equal to A. Okay? So that's an important distinction. Now, another important thing na kailangan nating pag-usapan is yung property ng ating impulse. Okay? So it has three fundamental properties. Madali lang si scaling and product. Etong si shifting though, medyo kailangan ng a bit of review about that. So, hold on. Okay, sige, ganito gawin natin. Delete ko na lang muna to. But Hopefully naintindihan niyo yung part na 'to. Okay. Sige. So let's start off with yung dito sa scaling. So ito madali lang naman, straightforward 'to. Kung naalala niyo dun sa scaling nung time, or rather, yeah, time scaling, kung naalala niyo sa time scaling from previous lesson, kapag daw yung 8t, okay, kapag daw yung x ginawa nating alpha t, anong mangyayari sa mga time niyan? Lahat ng time will be divided by a. Okay? So, for this one, it's a bit different, no? Kasi kapag ang impulse minultiply mo yung t minus beta niya, so meaning yung time niya na yon by some alpha na value, hindi lang yung time yung magdi-divide, yung buong value yung magdi-divide. So you have 1 over alpha na tawag dito, naka-absolute value, and then yung original natin na delta function. Yeah, tama, delta function. So, this separates yung parang concept ng time scaling sa time scaling ng impulse. And I think yun yung pinaka parang isang demonstrative na property niya. Kasi again, saan lang naman siya nag-o-occur kapag yung t minus beta mo is equal to 0. So meaning at beta. But then by multiplying that said t minus beta by alpha, what you're essentially doing is you are dividing the area by that alpha. So again, hindi maapektuhan yung magnitude ng impulse function sa continuous time. Yung area lang yung maaapektuhan ng mga scaling. Okay. So that is yung scaling. And keep in mind na this is in continuous time. Walang scaling sa discrete time. Kasi kung maaalala nyo sa discrete time, kapag skinale mo yung t, ano nangyayari? Kapag for example, minultiply natin ng n, ano nangyayari? Nagkakaroon siya ng loss of information. AKA, may decimation na nangyayari. So, hindi mo rin pwede gawin yon sa ating impulse. Kasi madedecimate siya. Okay? Something to wonder about. Okay, then you have yung product. So, yung product, meron din siya sa discrete time. Papalitan mo lang lahat ng t ng beta. So, you have delta of n minus k. Oh, wait. Tama, pwede na yun. X of n, which is equal to x of k. Sige, balik natin yung beta daw. Ayan. X of beta, tapos yung ating impulse. Okay? So what this is saying is that kapag minultiply natin yung sum x of t sa ating impulse function, makukuha ng original function natin na yon yung value ng beta. Hindi ito alpha, actually beta to. Okay. Makukuha niya yung value nun. So for example, if I have like x of t is equal to sine 2t at beta equal to 5, then ang delta of t minus 5 tapos sine of 2 pi t is actually equal to sine ng 5 times 2 pi. Tapos yung delta natin na t minus 5. So this is of course still equal to 0 because this here is equal to 0. Okay? So equal to 0 yan. Wala lang yan. Let's have another one. Itong nasa tabi. Alpha of t minus 3, tapos cosine square ng 3 pi of t over 2. So this is of course equal to cosine squared ng 9 pi because 3 times 3 yan. Okay, over 2. Delta of t minus 3. Here's the may value to. I think ang value niyan is still 0. Hindi ko maalala kung 0. Sandali lang. Kasi ano lang siya, cosine of pi, of 9 pi rather, over 2 tapos naka-squared yung magiging sagot nun. So kung ang cosine of 9 pi over 2 is actually 0, then 0 pa rin to. Okay? So I guess ito mas ano to, delta of t minus 4 tapos e raised to negative 3t is equal to e raised to negative 3 times 4 tapos delta of t minus 4. So ito meron. May sagot dyan. E raised to negative 12. Delta of t minus 4. So what does this look like? Well, kapag grinap mo to, para lang siyang para lang siyang delta, or yan nga, delta, at t equal to 4. So right here. Again, infinite pa rin yung magnitude, pero yung area nito is e raised to negative 12. Okay? So, yun lang yan. So, yun lang ang sinasabi ng product na yan. And that goes the same here sa ating, dito, sa discrete time. So, pag ginamit mo to sa discrete time, itong e raised to negative 3, pwede. Anong mangyayari? So, what will happen is, meron na siyang magnitude na equal kay e raised to negative 12. Okay? Kasi, ito nga is continuous, ito is discrete, and this is well-defined yung value. So, yun yung sa product niya. And then yung shifting, it just states na kapag inintegrate mo yung product na to, meaning hinanap mo yung area nila, okay? Hinanap mo yung area niyan, equal lang siya dun sa x alpha natin, okay? AKA, itong e raised to negative 12 na to. Itong 0 na to. Itong 0 na to. Okay? So, yun lang yung ibig sabihin yan. Straightforward lang naman siya. Meron nitong equivalent sa discrete time. Again, ano nangyayari sa integral kapag ganyan? Papalitan siya ng summation. So, the summation of all the product, okay? The product being ito. N minus beta, x of n. From n is equal to 0 up to infinity. Ayan na, pwede ganyan. So this will become x of beta. Tapos ito, n minus beta. So which leads us to the next part, which is, paano mo sasagutan ito? I want to explain this real quick. Pero siguro ma-expect nyo na hindi ito lalabas kasi hindi naman yan talaga naturo ito. Okay? Pero you better be safe than sorry, di ba? So, sabi daw dito, evaluate natin yung following integrals. Okay, let's start off with letter A, no? Negative infinity to positive infinity. So, that means buong range ng values. So, anong equivalent nito? 4 minus 3 squared plus delta of t plus 3. Di ba nga? Kasi nga, ito yon. Wait, saan yun? The x of beta, I'm about to put this up. Ayan. Ay, hindi. Napunta dun. Okay. Ayan. So, x of beta, being yung x mo is yung 4 minus t squared. And yung beta mo is yung 3. So, papalitan mo lang yung t ng 3 squared. So, this will become negative 5 of delta t plus 3. Wait lang, check ko lang. Baka kasi mali yung sagot ko rin. Okay, yun. Negative 5. Negative 5. Shifting nga pala to. Shifting. So, shifting. So, negative 5 lang to. Hindi kasama yung t. Delta t. So, letter B tayo. Okay, ito. This one is a bit different, no? Bakit? Kasi dito, sa una, negative infinity to positive infinity siya. How about here? So, ganito ang mangyayari. Hanapin mo muna, or rather, i-express mo muna itong delta of t plus 4 in terms of this. So, I have delta of t plus 4 is equal to the delta of t minus negative 4. So, I have my beta being equal to negative 4. Ganito po yung mangyayari. Kapag yung beta mo, wala siya sa range ng limits ng iyong integral,
The answer is 0. So since negative 4 is lesser than negative 3, yung value nito is 0. Okay, yung letter B. So let's have letter C. For example, letter C. So dito makikita natin na may dalawa siyang delta. So ano mangyayari? You will evaluate this separately, no? So I have misa negative 3 and then 6 of 6 minus t squared delta of t plus 4. So dito makikita mo agad na 0 na to kasi anong ating beta? Negative 4. So wala siya sa limits. However, yung kasunod, which is 2 times ganyan. Wait lang. So nilabas ko lang po yung 2 na to na nandito. Okay? Nilabas ko lang po siya. Pero pwede ko naman ipasok. So kung ganun mangyayari, ay 2t plus 4. Okay? And then, from this one, ang mangyayari is, ilalabas mo muna yung 2. Okay? So, lalabas natin yung 2 na to. At the same time, ipa-factor out natin yung 2 sa t plus 4, 2t plus 4 na to. So, I have 2 here. 6 negative 3 of 6 minus t squared. And then delta of 2. T plus 2. Okay, and from here you can see, no? Anong meron? This has the scaling property na na-discuss kanina, yung pinakauna, which states that kapag naka-multiply ng some value, lalabas lang natin siya, pero naka-divide na. So, pwede nating ilabas si 2 dito, pero naka-divide na siya. So, I have 2 over 2. This is simply 1 na lang. So, I have delta of t plus 2. And here, ang beta natin is negative 2. Since ang beta natin is nasa limit ng 6 and negative 3, pwede nyo na ngayon diretsuin siya using this formula. Ito lang pala. Kasi product nga pala to. Ito lang. Okay? So this is now equal to 6 minus 2 squared, which is equal to 2. So that is the answer to letter C. How about letter D? So kay letter D, I have 2 deltas, no? Meron akong dalawang delta. Pero also, we have yung x natin. So yung x natin nandito sa loob rin ng delta. So ano mangyayari? So ang mangyayari is, ano ang ating t? Wait, anong ating beta pala? Beta is equal to 2. Okay? But here is our x. Diba? So, parang nangyayari, etong part na to, yan yung ating x of t. So, dito lang natin ipapalit yung 2 natin sa t niya. So, that means it is equal to delta of x minus 2. Okay. So, yun ang sagot sa letter D. Sa letter E, this one is a bit different, no? So, sa letter E, may derivative ng delta. Kung naaalala nyo, ano ang derivative ng isang delta? This is known as a doublet. Doublet po. Baka kasi tanong. Pero doubt ko naman na itatanong niya yan. Unless. Better be safe naman, di ba? Okay, doublet. This is the doublet. So now, if we go here, anong mangyayari? Paano natin siya i-integrate? Okay, so ganito po ang mangyayari, no? Yung delta natin, since naka-derivative siya, by using yung shifting property natin sa original, ide-derivative rin natin yung value nun. Okay? So, for example, here, ang t natin is equal to 4, which is again, nandito pa rin sa limit niyan. Diba? So, gawin natin, hanapin muna natin yung value ng delta lang. Delta of t minus 4 lang. Okay? So this is of course equal to 4 minus t squared given na yung t mo will be equal to 4. And then, ang mangyayari po is dahil naka-derivative yung delta natin, ide-derivative rin natin to. So, therefore, I get this is equal to the negative derivative, negative d over dt of 4 minus t squared from t is equal to 4. Saan yung negative na to? Actually, wait lang. Hindi ko pala napakita yung isang property na yun. No? So, hold on. So, of course, kung may impulse, meron din kasing doublet. And yung doublet na yun, may shifting property din po siya. Ayan. So, let me show the doublet shifting property. So, ito po ang shifting property niya. X of the delta prime of t minus beta is equal to the negative x prime of beta. So, meaning, we are here sa point na to, no? So, pag dinerivative natin to, I get negative times negative t squared, which is equal to 2t na lang. T is equal to 4. So, that means, ang sagot dito is 8. Meron din kasing product property si doublet, pero yun yung medyo mahaba. And given na hindi naman niya yung tinuro, wag na natin yun i-expound pa further. So, ito lang yung mga need mong malaman about sa impulse. Okay? And then, we have the ramp and the step. Now, nagkaroon na ako ng recording about piecewise defined linear signals. Kaya nga, I am hesitant na gawin ito. However, meron akong nakalimutan ituro, which is, what if, so this was yung first signal natin, remember, from our previous lesson. Okay, let's say, na-express mo to as ramps and some steps, di ba? Paano mo to i-express? So this is of course 5 of ut, okay, minus 3 of u, minus 3 ut minus 2, plus, ay, tama ba? Ayun, plus 3 of u t minus 3, and then dito sa 4, papunta sa 6. So, anong slope nito? 5 minus 0, which is 5, all over 6 minus 4, which is 2. So, 5 half. So, minus 5 half of u t minus 4. So, yan po yung ating function. Now, what if ang pinahanap sa iyo is find the signal energy? Find the energy. And then, dito ka na stuck kasi hindi mo alam kung paano hinapin yung energy. Okay, so anyway, ganitong mangyayari ngayon. Okay? You have to divide this signal into large na steps and ramps. So if I were to find the signal energy nito, ang gagawin ko is, gagawin ko muna parang ganito. This represents a very large ramp na may width of 6 and a height of 5. Okay? Then, isusubtract ko daw siya sa isang, so that will be of course, isang ganitong signal muna. Okay. So, I have a width of 6 and 5, right? Then, isusubtract ko daw siya sa signal na ganito. Okay? Wait. Isusubtract ko daw siya sa signal na from 2 to 3. So, wala po ito. Hindi po siya connected dito. Ayan. 2 to 3. Tapos, this one is 5. And then, ito is 2. So, parang ganyan. So, susubtract ko daw siya dyan. And then, itong part na to, I will subtract this by a ramp function na from 4 to 6. So, this is what it looks like. 4 to 6. No? And again, this one is 5. But, saan siya mag-end sa 0 naman? Okay? So, parang ganito yung mangyayari. So, hanapin ko muna yung energy ng lahat na to. So I have energy 1 here, which is of course equal sa A squared B. So this is 5 squared times 6, which is equal to 150 joules. Okay, next one, we have ito. So, ang energy naman nito is 5 minus 2 squared and then 3 minus 2. So, this is equal to 9 joules. And then finally, the third signal energy, or rather yung third signal natin, so isa siyang triangular wave. So this is of course A squared B over 3, which is equal to 5 squared times yung B natin, which is 2 over 3, and I get 50 over 3. Okay, yun na yun. So I have 3 signals and then 3 of yung ano nila, okay? Energy nila. So ganito ngayon ang mangyayari. I can now express Y as itong first function natin, x1, plus the second function natin, which is itong signal. And then yung third signal natin na to, which is itong nasa triangle. So, the energy then is equal to the integral ng kanilang y squared pala. Yan. Which is equal sa x1 plus x2 plus x3 na naka-squared. So, kung maalala nyo, a plus b plus c squared from our algebra is equal to a squared plus b squared plus c squared plus 2 times ab plus ac plus bc. Hindi ko na ipoprove yan. Pwede nyo naman siyang i-FOIL method. Okay? Pero basta ito yung pinaka parang result niya, right? Okay. So with that, I get the integral of x1 squared plus the integral of x2 squared. Di ko na need ilagay yung dt. It's understandable naman na. Ayan. Plus 2 times integral ni x1, x2 plus integral ni x2, x3 plus integral ni x1, x3. So, ito na yan. So, ano itong tatlong to? So, itong tatlong to, yan yung energy 1, energy 2, energy 3. Nahanap na natin yon. So, ano nga itong mga to? So, ito yung kanilang products. Tapos kung ano yung magiging area ng products nila na yon. So, the question is, paano nyo ngayon siya i-express yun as products? So, let's have x1 times x2 muna. So, x1 times x2, okay. So, if my x1 was a signal from 5 to 0, tapos with a length of 6. But then yung second signal ko is dito siya magsa-start sa 2 and then papunta kay 5. Tapos, eto lang siya. Ayan. 2 times 3. Then, it is understandable na yung the rest, ganito lang sila. Nag-start lang sila as 0. Okay? Actually, hindi nga dapat yan. Okay. So basically, etong mga to, start sila as 0. Ano ba i-express yun na 0? Basta ganyan. Hindi connected to. So meaning, kapag minultiply ko si 5 from this and this, okay, yung first signal ko pala. Pag minultiply ko yung first signal ko sa second signal ko, from 1 to 2 seconds and from 3 to 6 seconds, 0 na ang sagot. So, ang kailangan ko na lang i-multiply is si 5 minus 2 kay 5 to 0. So, kapag minultiply ko ngayon yun, ano mangyayari? I will now have a different signal na same lang rin ang length kay I will have a different signal. Pero dahil 5 lang naman yung lahat, ano lang gagawin ko? So, i-multiply ko lang si 5 kay 5 minus 2. Okay? So, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 minus 2 is 10. So, parang dito. So, ito na lang yung ating resulting na signal. Yan lang yun. Okay, pwede na yan. Okay, so now that alam na natin na ang width nito is 2 to 3, 3 minus 2 rather is 1, so my B is equal to 1. But of course, yung kailangan natin is yung amplitude niya, which is 25 minus 10. Okay? We have established this before dito na pag minultiply mo lang siya, yun yung 5 times 5, 25, 5 times 2, which is 10. So this is of course equal to 15. So meaning yan yung A ko. So therefore, the shape nito is a rectangle. So anong area nun? Base times height lang. So this is 15 times 1, which is equal to 15. Yan na yung x1, x2. So pag doon na tayo sa x2, x3, so ito medyo ano to, actually hindi pala. Kasi anong nangyari lang dito? So etong second function natin na to, anong slope niya? 5/2. So x. And then x minus 4. Oh, ito yung signal natin dito. Okay? So 5/2 times x minus 4. So meaning at x is equal to 4, 0 siya. Okay? Dapat pala t na lang to. O sige, t. So at t is equals to 4, the value of my function is 0. Okay? Here's the problem. Yung signal natin original is from 2 to 3 lang. So meaning, pag minultiply mo siya kay 4 and 6, no? Wala lang yan. Kasi parehas silang 0. So x2 times x3 is automatically 0. So hindi na natin need gawin si x2, x3. So what you only need is si x1 and x3. And since ito, isa lang naman siyang rectangular signal, ang mangyayari lang dito is parang mag-amplify siya. Na yung peak na niya is nasa 25 na. Okay? From 4 to 6. So ano ngayon yung area nito? The area is base times height divided by 2. My base being from 4 to 6, which is 2, and my height being the 25 all over 2. So ano to? 25 lang. So with that, pwede na natin kompleto itong energy equation natin. So energy is equals to E1. So what is my E1? 150, no? Plus the energy 2, 9, plus energy 3, 50 over 3, plus 2 times yung area ng x1 and x2, which is 15, plus yung area ni x2 and x3 na 0, plus yung area ni x1 and then ni x3 na 25. Which is ganyan yan. Kung, again, lahat yan naka-add. Diba? However, nakalimutan natin sabihin na di ba nga, sinubtract natin etong si x2. So lahat ng may x2 dito nakasubtract. Meaning, yung ating area ni x1 times x2, which is itong 15, nakasubtract siya. But moreover, etong area ng triangle na to, nakasubtract rin. So meaning, si x1 and si x3, yung product nila, nakasubtract rin. So, we'll put minus rin dito. So I have 159 plus 50 over 3 minus 2 times 15 plus 25, which is 40. Okay? So ano ngayon yung value nito? 80 plus 50 over 3. The answer is 287 over 3 joules, which is equal to 95.67 joules. So yan lang yung sagot ng what if pinahanap sa iyo yung energy nitong signal na to. Okay? Okay. So of course, meron din yung pwede mo rin siya hanapin dito directly, no? Square mo to. Okay? Hey, wait lang, may ramp dito ah. Ito 'yun, ramp to. Dito U. Okay. So meron kang ito yung signal, 'di ba? Square mo. So mas mahaba to. Pero ang upside kapag ginamit mo to is hindi ganoon kadami yung Pero actually, apat pa rin, tatlo yan eh. 1, 2, 3. Tapos, nakamultiply siya dito. Tapos, di ba nga, kung maaalala nyo, si ramp natin is equal to t times yung step natin na u of t. So, yan lang yung ano dyan. So, pag hinanap mo yung square ni ramp, t squared lang yan times u of t na naka-square din. Pero itong u of t na yan, ano lang siya, yan yung nagsasabi ng magnitude ng iyong function. Okay? So, yan lang yung inaano dyan. Ina-express dyan. Pwede nyo muna tanggalin ito kasi palagi namang 1 yung value lang nito unless nakamultiply siya sa A sa harap, di ba? So, with that, kapag hinanap mo yung energy, gamit to, tapos dito mo siya hanapin, pwede mong gawin. Okay? Bakit ko hindi ginawa? Kasi ano yan eh, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, apat yan. So, apat na So, bale, apat tapos may 2 times ABC, 2 BCD, 2 ABD, 2 ACD, ganyan. So, in short, mahaba siya. So, at least na-simplify natin sa tatlong signals and then ito na lang yung kailangan natin gawing operations diyan, 'di ba? And ito, kaya ko lang to drino, hindi ko hanapin yung area nito. Chill lang kayo. Just wanna show na again, there are cases na sorry. Ayun. Okay. So, there are cases na yung mga ganitong points, hindi po sila magkakaparehas ng slope, okay? Ano ang slope nito? 4 minus 2 all over this one, saan siya nanggaling? Sa 5. And then yung isa sa 8. Wait lang. 5 minus 8. So, ang slope nito is negative 2/3. Okay? So, iba yung slope niyan sa slope nito. Kasi dito, from 2 to 1, and then from 8 to 9. So, yung slope nito is negative 1. So, ito, negative 2/3. Ito, from 6, magiging 4, pero dahil isa lang yung binaba, negative 2. Or rather, isa lang yung time na inano niya. So, you can see na pag mas mataas yung slope, mas steeper siya. Okay? So, just keep in mind of that kasi baka may lumabas sa exam, i-express mo ito as a series of steps and ramps. And then malalaman mo na magkaiba sila ng slope. So, akala mo na misdraw lang ni sir yung signal. Okay? So, again, there are cases na magkakaiba sila ng slope. Siguro, challenge ko na lang rin sa inyo is hanapin nyo yung area, rather, yung signal energy nito. Feel like kayang-kaya naman. Okay? And again, last reminder, hindi po hinahanap ang signal power ng mga ganitong signals kasi hindi po sila periodic. Remember, ang signal power, hahanapin mo lang yan kapag periodic siya. So, that ends yung aking lesson. Wanna make this short para makapagbigay kayo ng allotted time na mag-practice. Paano i-plot yung mga step and ramp na to, paano mo siya i-express in terms of yung graph niya and etc. Okay? So with that, thank you for coming.